Okay, Michael Rittenauer here, Executive Chef of Massanutten Resort with Kim Alexander, our pastry chef, for another Massanutten Moment. And today, we figured people hadn't gained enough weight, or maybe people were gaining weight, we don't know, but this is donuts. And we figured if you make your own donuts, then you'll burn off some energy, and that way you will, there'll be less calories in going, or you'll burn more calories than if you just went through the drive-thru. So this is how we stay trim and healthy during the epidemic while we're all quarantined here. So we're making donuts. We're doing the yeast, which is the more traditional variety. A lot of home people will do a cake donut. We're going to do the yeast. The flavor's better. Kim's already made up the dough, and she's allowed it to ferment. The recipe you'll have access to the recipe. So how long did you let that rest?
An hour and a half.
So an hour and a half. We're not really looking. You want to make sure it's rising during that period, because if it's not rising, something's up with your yeast. But the main thing is we're trying to get that flavor that comes from a little bit of yeast growing inside of our dough. And then she's going to roll it out and cut it. And once we cut it into shapes, we're going to need to let it rest for what, about 40 minutes to rise?
Yeah, she wanted to double in size.
So, again, you notice she's not really smashing it. She's allowing it to roll. Lots of flour so it doesn't stick to your rolling pin. And of course, there's nothing wrong with making a plain donut, but once we get some donuts fried, we will kind of add a few things to it. We have a little ganache and some pastry cream and a couple glazes, and of course, if we have kids at home and people like that involved, we'll have some sprinkles and stuff like that, but no sprinkles for the adults, right, Kim?
No.
Right. So are donuts pastries or what? I mean, why is the pastry chef making donuts? They're pastries. So
yeah. These
are pastries then now. So that's the definitive answer. So the thing about it is donuts are fried, unlike a lot of your bread or yeast products which are baked. On this one, we're frying them. And of course, here at Massanutten, we would use a deep fryer. And if you have like a Fry Daddy or a deep fryer, that's fine. But you can fry them in a pan. And on the stove, we have a rondo, which we've heated some shortening. And of course, everyone knows that you fry donuts in shortening, not in you don't want olive oil or something silly like that on your donut, right? It's either lard or vegetable shortening, right? That's the two choices, only two acceptable things. And when you fry them, you don't have to get the oil real deep. The donut itself is buoyant, so it'll come up. So you want your oil deep enough that the donut comes off the bottom of the pan and kind of floats around. And we're going to be at about 200 degrees. Depending on the thickness, the thicker the donut, the lower the temperature you're going to need. But 150 to 200 degrees is a really good rule of thumb. So we'll roll over here and fry some donuts. Okay. Again, be very careful. Very hot. It'll pull the skin right off of you, no problem. But it's safe. They don't splash. They don't do a whole lot. Just gently lay them in. If they hit the bottom and they stick, you just use your tongue to pry them up a little bit. And the thing here is to try to fry them equally on both sides so that your donut is all one color. If not, you'll end up with a golden brown and a dark brown or something like that. The key is not to get the oil so hot that they become brown before they cook in the center. And then you have raw dough in the center of your donuts, which of course, I think everyone knows that's a bad idea. Don't drop them from too high. Don't dip your fingers in the oil, and you'll be okay. Oh, look, that one flipped itself. Is that bad?
No.
Okay. No, that was like some sort of symbol of, impending doom.
That only happens for the greatest chefs.
Oh, is that what it is? I'm so great I can flip my own donut holes. Okay, so you just, again, be careful. Let them brown. Getting so many in there, I'm probably going to have them too brown on one side and not brown. Oh, not brown on that one. There we go. All right. Uh-oh. Saw that one count. As you can see, it's a little trickier to get them all the same color than I made it out to be. Especially when you have something like the non-conformist donut hole. We'll feed that one to the cameraman. Okay, and it doesn't take long to fry them. If you find that they're getting too dark before you get them, you can always finish them in the oven at about 350 degrees for a minute or two. And as you see, we got a traditional with a hole in it. We got something like this, which we'll put jelly or something like that in there, or pastry creams, something healthy. Got that. See, now everybody kind of knows why there's always that little seam around the donut. That's the part that doesn't get in the way. Okay, so we have some over here that we've already cooled, and you're gonna want to let them cool before you start to decorate them, because any of your glazes or sugars or chocolate will just simply melt right off of them. Kim has prepared some toppings, so we'll let her do her thing from there.
We have the traditional glazed donut here, which is powdered sugar and water. There's the traditional. I mixed up some sweetened condensed milk and powdered sugar and a little bit of vanilla, which I have this here that I'm gonna dip in it. This is a little more
tasty.
flavorful. Yeah.
It sticks way better too.
It does, yes.
A little rough on the fingertips.
And then I have, for the ones that you're gonna fill, you're just gonna take a sharp paring knife and just make a hole. And then we have Bavarian cream that I'll put in one. I just have it in my piping bag. Just gonna fill it. Be careful not to overflow it.
Oops.
Yeah, it came out the bottom there, but that's okay. I'll just wipe that off and
It's like
then
an
flip it
episode
over.
of Dr. Pimple Popper.
Then I'm gonna dip that.
Oh, there.
Yeah, nobody
Lost
will
in
know
green.
that. And then here we have some preserves. And I'll fill this one with. And this one here, you could, this is raspberry preserves. You could dip it in chocolate, but I'm gonna go ahead and just top it with some powdered sugar. Here's a little different. And then we have some cinnamon and sugar here for our donut holes. We have the traditional ones here that I'll dip in the chocolate, and then we'll put the chocolate sprinkles on it for the all chocolate lovers. Do more donut holes. Yeah, you can do just about anything that you have in your pantry. Like Chef Mike said, if you're at home and
There you
you're looking
go.
for something to do, the traditional rainbow one. This is great with the children. Just you do this part, and then they can do this part, and then cleanup will be everybody.
The powdered sugar and water is real good for getting stuff to stick to it. And sometimes you put a little of that so you get a little extra cinnamon sugar on there, but or maybe that's just me. But
No, you could. Let's see.
a little extra
See that.
spiciness. So just, if you take anything away from this, when you're in quarantine, you have to earn your donuts. So don't go to Krispy Kreme. Make them.
Yeah, stay at home. Be safe.